Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shuhaida Arifin and you're watching News at 10. Our headlines tonight. Target of zero hardcore poverty by 2025 achievable. %92 of backlog non-COVID cases resolved. The target of zero hardcore poverty in the country by 2025 can be achieved through various initiatives and programs implemented by the government. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Economy, Datuk Seri Mustafa Muhammad said the initiatives include the implementation of the Keluarga Malaysia Hardcore Poverty Eradication (BMTKM) program introduced under the 12 Malaysia Plan 12MP. Elaborating further on the matter, Datuk Seri Mustafa said the government has allocated 36 billion ringgit under the 12MP to eradicate poverty and set aside 150 million ringgit for the BMTKM program. He said by the end of 2025, the government will declare that there are no more hardcore poor families in Malaysia. Datuk Seri Mustafa, who presented a report on the achievements of Keluarga Malaysia in dealing with economic challenges, said that to date, there were a total of 136,000 hardcore poor families in the country, including in Sabah and Sarawak. In this regard, he said, the first phase of BMTKM program was being actively implemented involving 80 localities nationwide. Meanwhile, the minister said the government was also focusing on implementing programs to increase people's income to eradicate poverty in the country. He added that programs for human capital development as well as training and basic financial management courses are also being actively implemented. 92% of the 57,355 backlog non-COVID-19 treatment cases recorded at the government hospitals across the country up to September 2021 have been resolved to date. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the Ministry MOH was now trying to settle the 4,833 remaining cases as soon as possible. The Health Minister said the many cases resolved were due to initiatives undertaken by the MOH, including dispersing several such patients to the private hospitals when they saw the government hospitals were already full. He also said that with the measures taken, the situation improved and the number of backlog cases dropped by September and October last year. Khairi also announced that 4,053 medical, dental and pharmaceutical officers were offered permanent posts by the Public Service Department up to last week, the biggest number since 2016. The Johor State Health Department, JKNJ, plans to open a wellness hub in every district in the state to provide information so the local community can adopt a healthy lifestyle. State Health and Unity Committee Chairman Ling Tian Soon, however, said they will first look at the effectiveness of the Batu Pahat Health Hub, which is a pilot project which started operating on 21st January last year. He said at the same time, JKNJ is still waiting for allocation from the Ministry of Health for the construction of wellness hubs in other districts.
Dan wellness hub ini bukan sahaja kita adakan konsultasi, kita juga ada peralatan untuk bersukan, kita juga ada penempatan pegawai di sini untuk memberi nasihat ataupun memberi tunjuk ajar cara bersenam dengan cara yang betul.
He said this during a press conference at the Health Carnival in conjunction with the Agenda Nasional Malaysia Sihat (ANMS) at the Batu Pahat district level and the inauguration of Batu Pahat Health Hub. Regarding the ANMS Health Carnival, he said it involved four main cores, namely the promotion of culture of healthy living, well-being services, people's self-discipline and environmental cleanliness. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has hinted that he will announce good news for civil servants this 30th August. He said the Malaysian family government under his leadership always appreciated the sacrifices of civil servants, including members of the security forces under the leadership of the Chief Secretary to the government, Tan Sri Muhammad Suki Ali. The Premier said when disasters struck the country, such as the unexpected major flood, the security forces such as the Royal Malaysia Police, the Malaysian Armed Forces, the Fire and Rescue Department, the Social Welfare Department, the Health Department, the Implementation Coordination Unit, the National Disaster Management Agency and various other government agencies continued to operate with full dedication. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said there were many sad stories that involve health workers who sacrificed their lives when dealing with patients affected by the virus. He said the services and sacrifices of these unsung heroes will be etched in the country's history.
InsyaAllah, kita akan mengumumkan sesuatu yang menceriakan bagi mengubat duka lara kepada para penjawat awam pada Majlis Amanat Perdana Perkhidmatan Awam yang dijadualkan pada 30 hari bulan Ogos nanti.
He said this when opening the Keluarga Malaysia Symposium at the Putrajaya International Convention Centre PICC today. According to the Prime Minister, he would make the announcement at the Majlis Amanat Perdana Perkhidmatan Awam scheduled on that day. Civil servants have been called to be agents as the voice of the government to Keluarga Malaysia. Chief Secretary to the government Tan Sri Muhammad Suki Ali said this is because issues relating to weaknesses and failings are easier to sensationalize in the media than the successes and benefits achieved. Citing the government's efforts in stabilizing food prices such as the price of chicken and cooking oil, which were implemented recently, Tan Sri Muhammad Suki said some quarters slammed and even criticised the government despite after successfully put intervention measures through various mechanisms such as the Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation and the Technical Committee to tackle national food security issue. Thus, he said civil servants need to feel the spirit of Keluarga Malaysia among each other so that they can instill a sense of belonging to all Malaysians. Regarding today's ceremony, Tan Sri Muhammad Suki suggested that the symposium look and re-examine the next step for efforts to continue to prosper the country as well as maintain stability in the spirit of Keluarga Malaysia. He said all input given by the experts involved in the symposium should be analysed, digested and documented as best as possible as a step forward compatible with the government's commitment. An immigration officer who allegedly uttered abusive words to the public in a recent incident that went viral in a video has been transferred to another department and is facing an investigation by the Integrity Department of the Immigration Department. Immigration Department Director General Datuk Seri Khairul Zaimi Daud said in a statement today that his office took a serious view of the incident, which is believed to have happened in Shah Alam, Selangor. He said a preliminary investigation found that there was an element of provocation from the public. However, the Immigration Department head said the action taken by the officer involved is against the department's slogan of integrity, professional, friendly. He added that shouting and uttering abusive words towards the public should not be done by an immigration officer who's a civil servant. Coming up next, Budget 2023 will boost rural digital economy. The government would be boosting the rural digital economy through Budget 2023 to be tabled this October. Deputy Finance Minister Wan Datuk Muhammad Shah Abdullah said, based on the findings through e-dagang, e-commerce, the increase was 7.7% in the first quarter of this year and valued at 288.2 billion ringgit, compared with 267.2 million ringgit recorded during the same period last year. Dato' Muhammad Shah said the Finance Ministry is therefore also expecting the digital economy prospects in 2023 to further improve, thus fulfilling the government's desire to ensure that digitalization also occurs in the rural areas. He said the ministry sees that the e-dagang market is expanding rapidly since a few years ago, therefore they will monitor the need through Budget 2023 to further boost rural digital technology.
Kita melihat saiz pasaran e-dagang ini berkembang begitu besar pada tahun 2025 sebanyak 1.65 trilion ringgit. Jadi kita yakin prospek pada tahun depan ekonomi digital akan lebih besar. Kita kena membuat persediaan bukan sahaja di bandar-bandar besar tetapi ekonomi digital juga harus diperkasakan di luar bandar selaras dan seiring dengan perkembangan teknologi.
He said this to reporters after officiating at the Kaduk State Constituency Level Merdeka Community Keluarga Malaysia Program at Sekolah Kebangsaan SK Kaduk, Ketereh today. Dato' Muhammad Shah also said that the country is expected to be facing some economic challenges next year. Hence, Budget 2024 will also be looking at subsidies for the consumers and some drastic measures to revive the economy so that the next year we will have enough funds to look after the welfare and health of the people. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KPD and HEP, is deploying undercover enforcement officers to inspect shops and food premises in each state to detect traders who increase price arbitrarily. Its Deputy Minister, Datuk Rosal Wahid, said this was following complaints from consumers over food prices that remain high even though the price of raw materials such as chicken was now much cheaper than in the past few months. He said there should be a reduction in food prices in line with the stable prices of raw materials as a result of the intervention measures taken by the government to overcome the issue of rising prices of basic necessities. Datuk Rosal said the measures included providing subsidies, setting a ceiling price and organising the Keluarga Malaysia Cheap Sales Program, which had benefited food vendors.
Cuma kalau ada laporan, contohnya dia kata 2 minggu lepas dia beli harga sekian. Kemudian hari ini beli harga meningkat yang mendadak. Kita berdasarkan laporan tersebut kita boleh siasat. Sekarang ni dari segi detail tak ada, tapi di setiap negeri ada. Ada penyamaran di setiap negeri, terutama negeri-negeri maju, negeri-negeri yang yang banyak kedai-kedai makan sebegini. Penyamaran itu akan lebih kerat lah. Ramai pegawai terlibat.
The Deputy Minister said this after officiating the 3rd Annual General Meeting of the Terengganu State Syariah Officials Association in Kuala Terengganu today. In the meantime, Datuk Rosal urged on consumers to immediately lodge a report against traders who increase their prices at unreasonable rates. He said the KPD and HEP can take action under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011 for taking excessive profits. Cooperatives are encouraged to carry out urban farming, especially on idle or abandoned land, as one of the ways to generate additional income, as well as to improve the standard of living of their members, especially the B40 group. Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Minister Tan Sri Nur Omar said the concept of urban farming is also in line with the Cabinet's decision to give approval for use of abandoned land for non-permanent farming activities to generate income for the local community.
Dia dapat membantu golongan B40 ya, supaya terlibat dalam urban farming. Dan yang kedua, kalau konsep ini berjaya, kurang-kurangnya kita dapat melihat, terutamanya dalam bandar, berapa harga sebenarnya. Ambil di ladang berapa harga. Bila cili yang sama, bila sampai ke pasar berapa harga. Kita boleh nampak berapa kenaikan harga.
He said this after the launch of Kebun Koperasi Keluarga Malaysia and Kebuniti Agro Park in conjunction with the Selangor Keluarga Malaysia Aspirations AKM Tour in Shah Alam today. According to Tan Sri Nur, there are currently 3,262 cooperatives in the country that are involved in agriculture and agro-based industry, with 10% of them carrying out urban farming. Earlier, Tan Sri Noh opened the Koperasi Kebuniti Selangor Berhad Kobuniti, covering 6.07 hectares at section U12 Cahaya Alam. The cooperative provides sites for the Asnaf and B40 groups, as well as the local residents to carry out agriculture activities as a hobby or to generate income. The Selangor Keluarga Malaysia Aspirations AKM Tour, which ended today, has recorded 12 million ringgit worth of business matching deals, making it the highest compared to the earlier editions. The Prime Minister's Department's Monitoring and Evaluation Section Director, Diana Puadi, said the 8th edition of the AKM Tour, which was held for 3 days beginning 19 August, at the Shah Alam Stadium grounds, had exceeded the initial target of 10 million ringgit as at noon today. Organised by the Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Ministry, the Selangor AKM Tour, with the theme Keluarga Malaysia Entrepreneurs Driving the National Economy, provides about 100 booths for small and medium industry entrepreneurs. The program, which ended at 9 p.m. today, also saw the attendance of 57,564 visitors and registered secretariat as at noon today. The Community Development Department Kemas has established the Centre of Empowerment KOMI Workshop, which provides free entrepreneurship equipment and facilities for rural communities. Rural Development Minister Datuk Seri Madzee Khalid said this was in line with the Malaysian family aspirations to ensure that the B40 group benefit from the services provided by the government to increase their income. Commenting further on the matter, Datuk Seri Madzee said, for example, new traders or entrepreneurs in the tailoring field who do not have complete equipment can use the equipment provided at KOMI for free. The minister noted that they can use sophisticated sewing machines such as computerized embroidery machines, edge stitching machines, and get guidance from Kemas teachers who are experts in the field. Elaborating, Datuk Seri Madzee said each state has one KOMI workshop at the premises of the existing Kemas Sewing Workshop, which is expected to benefit 3,000 entrepreneurs.
Pusat Daya Maju Jabatan Kemajuan Masyarakat Kemas dan akan memberi manfaat kepada lebih kurang seluruh negara 3,000 orang apabila center ini mula beroperasi. Dia peralatan jahitan, pelbagai jenis mesin jahitan tu diletakkan di satu center. Jadi bagi mereka-mereka yang B40 ni yang nak memulakan ataupun yang sedang berusaha secara individu, dia orang boleh mohon untuk datang ke tempat itu. Silakan.
He said this to reporters after launching the centre in Kuala Nerang today. Meanwhile, he said Kemas would open more skills training classes across the country to meet the needs of Malaysian families, especially in rural areas. Datuk Seri Madzee said that based on records, a total of 166,788 people had attended skills training classes provided by Kemas since 2019. Still ahead, death toll in Somalia hotel stage climbs to 21.
With the MERS 999 application system, getting emergency assistance is now easier. Save Me 999 Police connects the Malaysian public to the police. Save Me 999 Deaf for those with hearing or speech impairments. And Save Me 999 Blind for those with visual impairments. Download now for free on your smartphones. MERS 999 and applications make emergency calls easier.
The death toll from a devastating 30-hour siege by Al-Shabaab combatants at a hotel in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, has climbed to 21, and officials said it on Sunday as anxious citizens awaited news. Emergency workers have been trying to clear the debris of a gun and bomb attack by the Al-Qaeda-linked group on the popular Hayat Hotel, which left parts of the building in ruins, with many feared trapped inside the venue. The Ministry of Health has so far confirmed the deaths of 21 people and 117 people wounded in the assault that began on Friday evening and lasted over a day. On Sunday morning, the area surrounding the hotel was quiet and the roads blocked by a heavy security presence as emergency workers and bomb disposal experts sought to clear the premises of any explosive and remove rubble. The hotel building sustained heavy damage during the gunfight between Somali forces and the insurgent. Police Commissioner Abdi Hassan Muhammad Hijar told reporters on Sunday that 106 people, including children and women, were rescued by security forces during the siege, which ended around midnight. The attack was the biggest in Mogadishu since Somalia's new president, Hassan Sheikh Mahmud, took office in June and underscored the challenges of trying to crush the 15-year insurrection by the insurgent group. Iraqi rescue workers were on Sunday battling to free at least 6 pilgrims trapped under the rubble after a landslide hit a Shiite shrine in the central province of Karbala. 3 children had been rescued since Saturday's disaster, emergency services said, adding that they were in good condition and being monitored in a hospital. But it was feared that between 6 and 8 people were still caught under the rubble of the shrine known as Khatrat al-Imam Ali, according to Civil Defence spokesman Nawaz Sabah Shakir. Rescue teams working through the night under floodlights were able to provide supplies of oxygen as well as food and water to people trapped through gaps in the rubble. Shakir said that sand dunes and rocks collapsed onto the shrine building, blaming the saturation of the earth due to humidity and adding that evacuation operations are still underway. The landslide on Saturday afternoon hit the shrine located in a natural depression about 25 kilometers from the Shiite holy city of Karbala. The civil defense said the rocks and sand started sliding because of the saturation of the earthen embankment adjacent to the shrine due to humidity. China reported 2,181 new COVID-19 cases as conditions worsened in the country's biggest outbreak since the lockdown of Shanghai earlier this year. About 553 people were confirmed to be infected, and there were another 1,628 asymptomatic cases as of Saturday, according to a statement released by the National Health Commission. High, with tourist destinations worst hit among the current round of flare-ups. The southern island of Hainan reported almost 1,100 confirmed and asymptomatic cases for Saturday, the most among all provinces. The current wave of infections is testing Beijing's COVID-0 into an official announcement. Coming up in sports, Real Madrid cruised to victory at Celta Vigo. Stay with us. A stunning strike by Luka Modric helped Real Madrid on their way to a 4-1 victory at Celta Vigo on Saturday as the reigning Spanish champions made it 2 wins from 2 in La Liga this season. Modric called home from outside the box just before half-time to put Carlo Ancelotti's side back in front after Karim Benzema's early penalty had been cancelled out by Iago Aspas, who converted a spot kick at the other end. Real took the lead inside the opening quarter of an hour at Balados. Benzema slotting in a penalty after the referee penalised Celta's Peruvian midfielder Renato Tapia for a handball following a VAR review. Yet Celta won a penalty of their own midway through the first half as Eder Militao blocked a Goncalo Presencia header with his arm, and veteran striker Aspas made no mistake from the spot. Modric, who was back in the starting lineup, made it 2-1 3 minutes before the interval, curling a tremendous shot high into the net. Real's class was told after the break, as Modric sent Vinicius Jr. away to round goalkeeper Agustin Marchesin and slot in the visitors' third goal in the 56th minute. It was 4-1 before the midway point in the second half, with Vinicius trying to pick up Benzema only for the Frenchman to slip, allowing the arriving Federico Valverde to plant a low first-time shot into the far corner. Now moving in the Bundesliga, Werder Bremen scored 3 times in the final minutes to come from 2 goals down and snatch a stunning 3-2 victory at Borussia Dortmund on Saturday that ended the host's winning start to the season. Julian Brandt, Ajax attacker Anthony has conceded that he cannot guarantee he will still be with the Dutch champions beyond the end of the summer transfer window. The 22-year-old has started the 2022-2023 campaign in impressive fashion for Ajax, scoring twice and providing 2 assists in 3 appearances in all competitions. The Brazil international scored 12 goals and registered 10 assists in 33 outings in all competitions at club level during the 2021-2022 campaign as he goes under the watchful eye of new Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag. The 20-time English champions have been linked with the attacker throughout the summer, and it is believed that they recently had an €80 million bid turned down by Eredivisie outfit. Man United are allegedly considering making an improved offer for the South American as they bid to secure his signature before the end of the summer window. When asked about his future in Amsterdam, Anthony refused to guarantee that he would remain with Ajax past the transfer deadline. That's it from us this evening. In our top story, target of zero hardcore poverty by 2025 achievable. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Thank you for watching.